I'm here with my friend Mary from church, and she is going to share with us her best tips for keeping deer out of her garden, because she was telling me that she was able to put up a ton of food recently, and I said, how do you do that because of the deer? Because we have not had any luck with that. So Mary, what do you do?
Well, it's a process. First, after you plant, well, before you plant, make sure you have 4 metal posts around your square garden, 1 on each corner.
Okay.
And then you take a very thin wire and you kind of wrap it around the pole. Go to the next one, wrap it around so it's nice and tight.
Like fishing line or wire?
Fishing line or a really thin wire.
Okay.
I just went to Ace Hardware, looked through their, they have a good selection on a little kiosk thing.
Okay.
And it doesn't really
in the
matter.
spring probably, right? Or
Yep.
late
I would
winter.
get this done in the spring because
Okay.
you want your garden good to go. By the time you plant, you want your defense, some of your defense up.
Okay.
So after you get the wire wrapped around your garden, then you hang this. It is flash tape.
Oh, it's like shiny?
Correct. It's
Oh,
shiny,
okay.
and it's like a metallic. And one side is shiny, and the inside is a shiny silver, and the outside is a shiny red. And what it does is, you take a piece about I do a good couple feet long.
Okay.
1.5 couple feet, depending on how high your poles are. But you want it long, and you just take the very end and you wrap it around the wire. And depending on how long your wire is, I would say put it every couple feet. I mean, it's not a science, but
Yeah.
you want it along your wire on all sides, because it flaps in the wind. So you want it long enough so it flaps in the wind, makes unpredictable noise, unpredictable movement. Deer do not like it.
Nice.
And it's shiny, and they don't like that either. Birds don't like this either. So I'll hang this over my raised strawberry bed as well. I'll have a pole on each side of the square raised strawberry bed with a wire going down the center with some of this tape hanging down, which will flap. And it goes actually right down to just about touching my strawberry plants, just because, to wave them away.
Okay.
So
Does the birds eat your strawberries?
Birds, squirrels, are not squirrels, but little varmints.
Really? That keeps them away too? Nice.
Yep. So this works good while everything is growing and you're watching your garden and your fruits and vegetables are getting bigger and yummier, and those little wild deer are also watching your garden, and then they get really aggressive when the stuff is starting to come in. So in addition to this, at the latter part of the summer, I have a motion activated sprinkler.
Oh yeah.
That I stick in the ground, and you can set it for the radius.
They must hate you.
I hope so. If they do, then I'm doing my job. But it's great because you can set this sprinkler to go off 24 hours a day whenever it gets within range, and it's a really good range.
Perfect.
Or you can set it just for day or just for night. I set mine just for night.
Because they're not around during the day as much.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so my garden is in the back of my yard, so there is a hose that goes across your grass, and then you put the sprinkler, has a spike on it right in front of your garden, and it will go off if somebody comes up that front corner. As soon as it comes to that corner, boom, 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 it goes off.
Hold on one second. You can come in, Josh, since I took over your office.
I just don't want to get in the background.
Well, you're in the background, but it's okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, so go ahead.
So that works great. It also keeps dogs and other things out of your yard too, so it kind of has a great purpose, because I was getting this mysterious brown spots, and I think actually the deer were peeing in my yard too. But you do have to either bring it in each day, but I don't. You can just go out and kind of just move your hose over a couple inches, just as long as it's not on the same track day in, day out.
Because they'll figure it out.
Well, you'll get a brown, if you're picky about your yard,
Oh,
you'll
I
get
see what you're saying.
a yellow spot
Just move
in
your
your
hose.
grass. Yeah,
Okay.
just a tiny bit. Move it every other day or so, just so that it's not, being deprived of sunlight constantly where that hose is. So I'll just.
So that keeps them, because of course we were talking about how you get so excited and it's almost time to harvest, and you go, and then it's gone, because that's when they want it too, is right when it's ripe and beautiful.
Because they're watching it too. Many times my melons, I thought, oh, they're getting real close, they're getting really close, and then I go out there and somebody broke into it. Well, some animal, some critter broke into it and got it before me. Same with your tomatoes. everything. They're watching, smelling, sniffing,
Yeah.
and they know when the stuff comes in too. So
That's awesome.
between this tape around my garden and the motion activated, I also do use a third option, which is the liquid fence.
Oh yeah.
But I will do that perimeter out a ways away from my garden because you want to deter them further out from your garden so they can't get in close enough to taste.
Doesn't the rain just take that away though?
You do. You have to,
You have to keep going.
go back out there.
Is that the stuff that's all natural? It's just like
all
like
natural,
somebody's-
like rotten eggs and
oh, I thought it was like some critters pee or something.
and that too.
Yeah.
And just nasty stuff in
Okay,
there. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
I think I got some of that one time, and then I ended up being afraid to use it because I was afraid that. Oh, I know what it was. I'm thinking of something else. I have this thing called snake away because I hate snakes.
Oh yeah.
But I never used it because I was afraid. What if there's already a snake in my yard and it kept it in?
Oh, you're.
So I have a question about your original, the wire with the
Yes.
posts.
Mhm.
Do you leave yourself like a door? Like, how do you get in and out of your garden? Just step
just
over
stuck
it.
under my wire.
So
'cause
it's
my
not so
wire-
close that you can't get through
Right.
it. Okay.
I would say my wire probably goes up around probably my chin length.
Okay.
And I actually then have a fence that goes up to possibly my knee, actually, maybe a little bit lower, about my knee. I have a chicken wire that goes around all the way into the ground to keep out the the bunnies and the squirrels, the smaller things that can get in there.
Oh.
So I have it fenced in around there to keep the little critters out, and then I have the wire up here with the tape on for the deer. You do want it up a little bit higher for the deer because
Okay. Because
you
they
want it
can
right
jump.
there. Well, and they do. They actually, before I put the sprinkler up, when they get really aggressive at the end of the summer, because they want that stuff in your garden.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that tape is there, they have been known. I have seen some deer marks because they will jump over it and go into the garden because I'll have tall beans, bean poles. And the beans get so overgrown, they go over the wire, and then they kind of stop the tape from being able to blow in some areas.
Right.
So, but again, like I said, once I put up that motion activated sprinkler,
Perfect.
yeah, it got rid of all of it. And again, back to that liquid fence, you'll want it away from your garden so that it stops them before they can even get close enough to sniff the goodies.
Oh, got it.
And then again, you just, whatever's needed,
Yeah.
however aggressive they are. But
Yeah. Those are lots of good options, though.
it is, and it works for me. I actually I got all my melons last year, all my watermelons. None of my tomatoes were eaten. They ate a little bit of my beans initially, but then they stopped. I actually put a little bit of liquid fence in, not on them, but in my grass area around it. And then again, once I put that sprinkler up, it was
So are you
fine.
in town or in the country?
I would say in the country-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're in town and we still have them.
Yes.
You know.
They're getting squished. They have less and less room.
Right, yeah.
So,
Our big
and they're
development.
Getting more aggressive.
Pushed
too.
them out, right.
So, anyway.
Well, thank you so much, Mary.
You're welcome, and I hope that works.
Okay.